Guys, good morning everyone. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Okay. And okay, can I get a response from everyone if everyone is ready to get started? Can we get started now? All right, great. So let's get started. Let me just share my screen. Before moving ahead, I'll just ask everybody to just you can just let me know if you were clear with all the topics that were discussed today. Any doubts, any questions before we start off? Okay, no doubts, no questions. Cool. So last thing that we had learned about is ranking functions. Okay, so now we are just going to look at few more calculation parts, and then we'll move to a new whole new topic. Okay, so let me clear everything and let's go back to orders. Okay, from here I'm just going to delete. Let's go to orders for now. Let's see. Yeah, close. Okay. So first thing that we will learn about is conditional formatting. Okay. How many of you guys have heard about conditional formatting or you know conditional formatting? Anyone? Nobody has used Excel? So people who have used Excel, you would know about conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is ideally a rule-based highlighting of data points. It's a rule-based highlighting of data points. You can highlight a few data points in your visualization or in your table where a certain condition is met. That's how do conditional formatting works. Okay, so let's try it out here in Tableau. So what I'll do, I'll take subcategory and I'll again take the sales. Okay, so I have subcategory and sales. Let's say I want to highlight top in subcategories or bottom in subcategories and etc. But I don't want to highlight through a set. I don't want to highlight through a set. Instead, I want to do conditional formatting. How do I do that here in Tableau? Let's have a look. Okay. So first and foremost thing, I'll have to create I'll have to create a calculated field to help me with the conditional formatting. Okay. Let me reshare the screen. Yeah. Now I'll create a conditional field. So right click, create calculated field. So the calculated field that I will create is nothing but an index. So all I'll do is use the index function and click on OK. So index is nothing but just a simple function that generates serial numbers. Row wise, it is going to generate serial number for you guys. Okay. So I'll click on OK. Now what I'll do, I'll take the index and add it up over here. Add it as discrete. So you can see that index is nothing but a serial number. It's nothing but a serial number. Okay, okay, 1 second. Let me move it to the right. Yes. So it's just a serial number, just a unique serial number that is getting assigned to every row. So I can apply conditions on this index number. How? I have to create one more calculated field. So let's say I want to highlight top n values. Okay. So let's say I want to highlight top n values. So what I'll do, I'll write a simple function over here that index is has to be, let's say I want to select top 10 values. Okay, so if want to select the top 10 rows or top 10 values, that means that index has to be less than or equals to 10. Am I right? Yes or no? If I want to select top 10 values, then I can select using index less than equals to 10, right? Okay. Now this new measure that I created, if you look at the symbol for that, it's equals to t slash f, which means true slash false. So that's a logical condition. It's a logical condition checking if a particular index is less than equals to 10 or not. So for rows where index is less than equals to 10, it is a true. And for rows where index is not equals to less than 10, it's a false. So what I'll do is I'll take it up and I'll add it in color. Can you see that it has automatically highlighted the rows that are true and the rows that are false are still in the same color? So all the top 10 rows got highlighted over here. That's how conditional formatting is done. I mean, ideally in Excel, you have a lot more rules for conditional formatting. But if you want to replicate the same rules in Tableau, sometimes we cannot build an interactive dashboard. Not sometimes, most of the times, we cannot build a very interactive dashboard in Excel. So we try to migrate it to Tableau. And if you want to replicate the same conditional formatting without using a set, because what set will do is it will directly highlight these rows over here. If you just want to highlight the numbers over here, with the textual color, right, you can use conditional formatting like this. Is it clear till here, everyone? But there is something wrong in this visualization. Can anyone point it out? What is wrong in this visualization? Index is nothing but a serial number. Index is not like, if I tell you that all the list of items that I've given to you, just number them. What will you do? You will start numbering every row, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. Every row you will give a serial number. That's all that index does. Same thing. Just gives a serial number to every row over here. Got it? All right. I was saying, yes, I was saying there is something wrong in this code. Can anyone find out what it is? Not code, but the whole visualization.
This top, it is given based on index, right? Not based on the lower sales or like higher sales.
Exactly, right. So right now it has basically numbered all the rows based on whatever the tabular form was, like whatever was present in the tabular form. Based on that, it has given the index numbers, and based on the index numbers, it has conditionally formatted it. But that's not the case. We should have done top 10 sales over here, right? So what we'll do, we'll change it up. Okay, how? By first putting it up in descending to ascending, then adding the calculated field called index. Okay, and now when you add index to the sheet, you will be able to see that all the numbers have got added properly. Like everything is okay. Let me put it this way. See, everything is numbered properly: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the basis of sales. So highest sales got the index 1, and likewise. Is that clear for everyone? How I did this?
Uh, Without index, can't we put any formula like to highlight the top 10?
You can, but then that will be like using a set or etc. Index, you don't have to add the index over here in the visualization table. That's fine, even if you don't want to add it in the visualization table. But it is needed to put a conditional value, like it is needed to put the condition so that you can highlight top 10 values or likewise. Got it?
Yeah, means by calculated field, how to highlight without index.
Without index in calculated field, you won't be able to highlight, but you have to basically you have to create
Okay.
a you have to create a true false condition, and you can use that true false
Yeah.
condition color to highlight. And for that, you will need this numbering column, right? So all these things are related to each other. That's the reason why we need index. Got it?
Yeah.
Same way, you can create the opposite of index as well. It's called last. Okay. So if I create last over here, and let me add it up here as discrete. Okay, let it be here. Ah, my bad. Yeah. So now if you see the notice the difference between index and last. It's just the opposite, right? Last starts numbering in reverse order, right? So it basically starts numbering here from 16 and runs up to 0. That's how last works. It's just the opposite of index. Okay. Now why I did that, I'll show you. Let's say I want to highlight top in sales values. So I'll use index less than equals to 10. Click on OK. So I'll put it up in colors. So all the values that are in top 10 sales will get highlighted over here. Right? But in case you would like to, use bottom, in case you want to highlight the bottom n values, you would use last. It would be easier to use last than index, right? You can just write wherever last is, let's say bottom 5, so less than equals to 5, and okay. And now you can add this bottom one in color. So if you see, the highlighting changed. It is now the bottom 5 that is getting highlighted over here, bottom 6 that is getting highlighted over here. Got it? Is it clear till here, everyone? Okay. And what if you want to highlight both bottom and top at the same go? In that case, what will you do? In that case, you can create a calculated field and you can add it as, let's say, top, bottom, both. I want both. So I can just write a condition like index, let's say less than equals to 5. So I want to highlight top 5 and bottom 5. So I'll write and then I'll write the second condition that last is, let's say, yeah, less than 5. And I'll click on OK. So this one that got created, I'll add it in colors. Okay. What did I add it in colors? Okay. Let me look at the formula. I think I did something wrong.
I think index should be greater than or equal to 5.
Ah, my bad. No, I want to highlight the top 5, right? So it is less than equals to 5. Yes. Just give me 1 minute. I think there is something wrong that I'm doing, or else the formula is right. It should get highlighted. Uh, Top, bottom, color. Why is everything false? I got the problem. So it's an and. And says that both the conditions have to be true. So instead we can use or. Or says that if any of one of the conditions are also true, then the output will be true. That's the reason why the error was there. Now you see all the top 5 and the bottom 5 got highlighted over here at the same go. Got it? Is it clear till here?
Meghna, can we just put like, I mean, on right side there is only true and false. It doesn't give any information like this is top five or top bottom. I mean, last bottom.
Hmm.
It just says true and false. I mean, is there any way to modify that it gives proper information to this
We
visualization?
can use if else. We can use if else and label something that if this condition is true, then this, or else this. You can label something using if else condition. Got my point?
Yeah, yeah. So in calculation, I mean, in function itself, we need to show, we need to write.
Yeah, we will see it anyway, but here
Okay,
in the when you write the formula here itself, you can use a if condition over here.
okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it.
Okay. Okay, everybody clear, right? Everybody clear till here? Okay. So if you guys are clear, can you guys quickly complete till here? Just complete your execution till here.
Meghna,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I just share my screen. I'm getting some.
Okay.
I am not able to share my screen. It is saying the host is
One second.
disabled. Yeah,
1 second. Yeah, try to share.
yeah. Somehow I have created index, but I'm not able to get anything in the first
That's
column.
because sales is added as text, right? So that's why it is not showing you the header for sales.
This
You
way.
have added index in color. So it is
Okay.
coloring the index. You have to create another field, right? The conditional field. That
Okay.
index has to be less than equals to 5 or something like that. Then that field you will add in color.
Okay. But why it is not showing anything over here?
Because sales is something that is added as a measure. It's a value. It's not part of your rows and columns. That's the reason why it is showing not showing the header for you.
Okay. 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 I'll stop there. I'll try.
Okay. Everybody done? Any questions, any doubts still here? Okay, cool. I am supposing there is no doubt still here. Okay. Next is, on the similar lines, we can also use something called as logical functions. Okay, so logical functions are basically again functions that include if, else, and etc. In fact, even and all are also something that comes under logical functions. I'll just brief you very shortly about and, or, and whoever doesn't know about it. Okay, so and says that if all the conditions are true, if all the conditions specified inside the and are true, only then the whole output will be true, or else everything will be false. And or says that even if at least one condition, at least one condition is also true, the output will be true. Only when all the conditions are false, the output will be false. Other than that, even if there is one condition which is true in or, the output will be true. So that's the difference between and or. And other than that, you have if, else, and normal condition checking, that if a particular condition is true, if the condition is true for a particular row, it will give the value that, or you can use any value that you want, or you can create any expression that you want. Else, if the condition is not true, in those cases it will go to the else, and whatever computation, whatever value you want to add, that gets added. That's a simple brief on if, else, and or. Is that brief clear for everyone? Okay. Now I'll try to create a small one over here. Okay. So I'll create a calculated field and then I'll show you again. Don't worry. So I'll create a calculated field using this if else condition. Okay. I'll name it if for now. I'm going to write, look at the if syntax. It shows you the syntax also over here. Okay. This is the syntax that you write. You write your expression, then you give a value, then you give your
Meghna, I
else.
think your that function box is not visible.
Thank God. Thanks for mentioning. Let me reshare. Is it visible now?
Yep, yep.
So when you start typing if, you can see the syntax right over here. So if you see the syntax, you start with if, then you give your expression. That expression is nothing but, this expression basically is nothing but a condition that you are going to check in your if. If this condition is true, then this particular value computation will be taking place. Else, you can go to the else part. Okay, let's have a look. So I can write if index is, let's say, less than equals to 5, then if let's say index is less than equals to 5, then I want to label it as top 5. Okay, else I will label it as, if this is not true, then else I will label it as not in top 5. So if a condition is true, I'm going to label it as top 5, else I'm going to label it as not top 5, and then just end. You have to put the end in the, I mean at the last, when you're done with all the conditions and etc. Once you put the end, that means that you're done, you're finished writing the calculations. Now I'm going to click on OK. Now if I add if to this particular field, okay, 1 second, let's add if over here. Now you can see the labels, right? For every row, you can see the labels over here. Which one is in top 5 and which one is not in top 5. For every row, it has labeled it up. That's the work that if did over here. You can further modify the if. Like for example, let's add one more condition with else if. that else if index is, let's say, greater than 5 and index, let's say, is less than 8, then maybe I will label it as, let's say, then I will label it as middle, let's say. Okay, and I'm going to click on OK. Now if you see, the values that are in middle also got labeled as middle. So you can add n number of condition checking in the same in the same formula, in the same code over here. Is that clear for everyone? Everyone was clear with that? Okay. And now just to make things interesting, okay, like you were saying that here it only shows true and false, but what if I want it to be more detailed? You can take your if and you can add it in color. Take the if and add it in color. And now see, based on the values, things get colored and highlighted. Top 5 values get highlighted this way, then middle gets highlighted this way, and then the not in top 5 part gets highlighted this way, and etc. So you can do the same conditional formatting using a logical condition as well. And just add that in colors. Because your if all of these conditions that we created, the last 3-4 conditions that we created, the output is always gonna be true, false. Got it? So everybody clear till here? Okay, can you guys quickly complete your execution till here? Okay, is everybody done?
Meghna,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just share my screen. I want to show one thing.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah. I can't see your screen. Can you share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I- Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote like this. Is there any
Mhm.
mistake or
No, that's fine.
but why it is showing bottom five only to all this? It should show middle and then bottom five, right?
Show your
But
condition once again.
coloring it is showing different, but
Uh,
words it is only bottom five it is showing to all the last.
1 second. Let me see.
Yeah. Can I give a
Okay. Got it. But why is it showing bottom? It should show.
yeah, it
Oh,
showed, sorry.
it
I
should.
think
Yeah, I think you
earlier.
need to refresh,
Yeah.
Sharon. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Also, everybody's good? Done? Can you show the condition for middle? Oh, I just missed your text, Gayatri. 1 second. Here's the condition for middle that I have used. Okay. Let me paste it up to in the chat box. 1 second, I'll just paste it up in the chat box. This is the condition I used for middle. Got it? Alright. So if everybody is done, I have a quick practice question for you guys. What I want, just hear me out clearly. What I want you to do is for every country and sales in every country, for sales in every country, label them as top 5, bottom 5, and middle, and highlight likewise. Got it? I'll type it also in the chat box. Yeah, I've given the question in the chat box. You guys can try it out and send a screenshot in the chat box. Okay, I can see 2 responses. I'm waiting for others. Okay, and the rest of you guys? 3 responses are here. The rest of you guys, are you guys still working on it? Just let me know if you're still working on it. Okay, I didn't get a response. I'm assuming you guys are done. So I'll just show you quickly. So let's take the country over here and the sales for every country. Now, once I take the country and the sales for every country over here, now you don't have to create another index function. You can use the same index function over here as well. See, you can use the same one. So you don't have to create different index and last functions for different use cases. You can use the same ones. They are created in a way that they can adjust to the visualization or the tabular data that you create. Okay?
Meghna, first we have to put it in some descending order, I think.
Yes, that's right. Thanks for reminding. One sec. Thanks for reminding. Yes, we'll put it up in descending order so the sales formatting is correct. Then we can add our index and our last. Both is discrete. Okay. Okay, why is last coming as 000? It's just a Tableau error. Anyway, we got index and last, and now we can use our same function that we created last time. I'm just going to edit on that same function over here. So share the screen. Yeah, not this one, the other one. I think it was if. Yeah. So I'm going to work on the same function, and I'm going to write if index is less than equals to 5, then top 5. Now I'm just going to change this condition a little bit. I'm going to write if last if last is less than 5, that means it's bottom 5. And or else if these conditions are not true, then it's middle. And okay. And now what I'll do is I'll add this if in the color. So I can get my top 5 highlighted here, bottom 5 highlighted here, and the middle ones highlighted over here. Good. So are we good till here? And just for, better look, you can just remove the index and the last from your visualization. So now you will get a more refined aesthetic look over here. Okay, so are we good till here?
Meghna,
Yes.
one question over here. What if we don't want to like use the last function in your if condition and want to have same output?
You can use index, and you can write that where index is, let's say, greater than equals to 15, let's say. Okay, but the problem is that you won't know that
Yes,
what is the,
exactly.
last value over here, and it won't allow you to use the aggregate function here in the expression. So that's the reason why we need to use last.
Okay, okay, got it. So it is more like parameterized kind of function. It will take the last five automatically. I mean, even if
Yes, that's why.
the
Yeah, that's the reason why that is useful.
okay, okay. Just wanted to understand. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so everybody good, right? We can move to the next topic. Okay, great. Let's move to the next topic. Now here what I'll do is we have what? We have states, I guess. We have states. So I'll take up the states. I'll take up all the states over here. You can see there are a lot of states over here, okay? And I'll take up sales. So for every state I can see what is the sales. Let me put it up in a bar graph. And even if I try to put my bar graph horizontally like this, the problem here is there are so many states, to visualize it with the bar graph is nearly impossible, right? Right, you guys agree to that? That bar graph is not sufficing over here because there are too many states here. Yes or no? Right? So whenever you have a geographical data, and how do you know you have a geographical data? Using this globe symbol. If you see this globe symbol beside any field, that's a geographical data. Okay, and even let's say for example segment is a geographical data. I'm just giving an example. Let's say segment is a geographical data, but it did not get identified as a geographical data. So you can always right click and you can add it as a geographical field. Like for example, you can add the geographical field and you can add what does it fall under. Is it a state, zip code, country? What is it? City? What is it? You can always convert that to a geographical data as well. Yeah, using just simple thing that you can right click, go to geographical role, and you can add what is the geographical role for this particular field that we have. Okay, this is when your geographical fields are not auto identified. Most number of times, or maximum number of times, it will get auto identified, but in case it is not, then you can add it as a geographical field. Okay, that's the first thing. Next thing, like I was saying that, yeah, Like I was saying, that all the geographical regions that, or the geographical fields that you have, will always get this globe symbol. And these globe symbol mean that it is a geographical role, it is a geographical data, right? And whenever you try to visualize, or whenever you try to work with geographical data, the best visualization to use for them is a map. Okay, maps are a great way of showing interactivity, showing the data around, and also providing a very visual appeal to the entire look. Like, instead of seeing it in bar graph, if you look at it in a map format, you will be able to locate the data better, you will be able to see the regions better, and visually you will be able to capture the insights better as well. So maps are a great way to showcase your geographical data whenever needed. Okay, and in this case also, if you see, there are too many states, and it's kind of very congested to look at the states and the sales over here. So what I'll do is I'll clear everything. Now what I'll do, I'll go to my state. All I have to do is double click. When I double click on state, automatically all the states over here start getting populated. So it will automatically populate a map, and it has right now just identified all the states that we have. All the states that we have, it has just right now identified all of them. Now I want state wise sales. So what I'll do is I'll take up sales, and I'll add it up over here. Okay, once again, I'll take up sales and I'll add it up in color. Now, if you see, all the states over here got colored based on sales. Wherever the sales was high, the color is deeper. Wherever the sales is low, the color is lighter. Just to check it up better, you can add labels. Okay. Anyway, when you hover on any of the state, you can see the tooltip, you can see the state and the sales. But over here on top, directly, if you click on this option, this T option, all the labels will come up. So this is showing all the text label, I mean all the sales label. If you want the states to be shown as well, just take up the state and add it in label. So now it shows that what is the state that you are right now viewing, and if you hover on it, you will be able to see the sales value as well. If you want to change the colors, from here, right click, edit colors, and you can always choose the colors that you want. For example, let's take a highlighting color so that it's more visible. Let's try out this one. This is also not that highlighting. Let's take it something else which is more evident, more colored. Yeah, something like this, right? So this is a base, this is actually called as a filled map. Why filled map? Because here the states get filled with the color entirely. The whole state gets colored based on the sales. That's why it's called a filled map. If you look at show me, you can see over here, right? This one. This is the map that we have created right now. Let me again add the state in the label so that it makes sense. Yeah. And whenever you click on a map also, right, you will be able to see. When you click on this map, you will be able to see what is required for this map. One geo is required. I mean, that's a mandatory that one geographical field has to be there. Zero or more dimensions and zero or more measures. Right? When you click on this one, you can see what is required for this map. And likewise. Got it? Is it clear till here? How to create a map?
Why that is white patch?
Sorry?
Yeah. Besides Maharashtra, can you hover?
This state is not available with our data. That's why. It is not going to highlight every state in India. It is just
Okay.
going to highlight states that are present in your data. So whichever
Okay.
states are present in your data, it is going to highlight, or it's going to color shade those states. And color will be decided based on the sales. The higher the sales, the deeper is the color. Lower the sales, lighter is the color. Got it?
Yep.
Ma'am, can you just repeat the process how like this map came, like geo one? Okay. So even if you remove everything, since I'm building on state versus sales, I can just double click on state. Once I double click on state, it starts identifying all the states that we are working with. So if you see, it has identified all the states that we are working with. Okay. Now I want sales. So I'll put up sales in colors. I'll drag and put up sales in colors. Automatically the colors come up over here. Just to showcase labels, you can just put state in label. Or if you want to show sales also in label, add sales in label as well. So for every state and every sales, you can see the textual values here. Got it? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can you guys quickly complete till here? Then I'll brief more on maps. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to just complete till here. Okay, everybody done, right? All right. Okay, I'm assuming everybody's done. Cool. So in this map, there are a lot of options that you can add. Okay, let me just label it as map first.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I'm not getting like the similar one.
Sorry.
I'm not getting properly. Some
Okay,
other
do it
countries
up.
also it is getting shared.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. That means that there are states in your data which is from other countries. So it will come up. Just show me the graph once.
I just deleted. This is the one we have to select, right?
Yeah, double click on it.
Huh.
Yeah. So this is not a problem. This is good that it is being able to identify all the states in your data. So you in your data you have states from other places as well. No, remove
He
sales.
has selected country as well as over there on the
It
detail.
is no, I
It
didn't select it. It is
it will
coming.
get auto selected because it has got grouped automatically. So just remove country/region. Remove it.
If I'm removing, everything is getting removed.
All the states are also not getting identified.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, so it's not being able to identify your states without your country, right? That is because if you see on the bottom right, there is 178 unknown, right? That means it is not being
Hmm.
able to identify your states. That's okay. Right now, try it with country. That's okay. I'll speak about this unknown part in some time.
Okay.
Okay, but you can try with your country.
Mhm.
Got it? Is it clear?
State. Yes, but it's coming everything. Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
Now, herein, there are multiple things that is to be looked after in this graph or in this map. Okay. First thing, the things that we will explore right now is the map options that you have. On the left, if you see, look at my cursor, these are the map options. First one is a search bar. This is when, like, you have, let's say, you have the map showing almost the entire globe. Let's say there are a lot of states, lot of regions present in your graph. So it might get very tough to locate a particular area. Now, let's say you are clear that you want to locate, let's say, West Bengal, but you don't want to scroll and find it in the graph. So you can just type over here West Bengal, whatever you're trying to locate. And see, it has already come up over here. So if you click on it, it is going to just zoom and show you West Bengal over here. Automatically, it will zoom in and focus on the West Bengal area, and it will show you that area over here. Okay, if you want to remove this zoom, you can click on this third option and it's called unpin. When you pin, it will basically pin on a particular area. If you unpin, it is going to come back. Like for example, let's say I click on Rajasthan and I click on pin. So it has pinned Rajasthan over here. You want to unpin, you can just deselect. For example, let's say okay, let's say I search something like Assam. So when I choose Assam, automatically it focuses on Assam and it pins it up. So this is Assam which is pinned in focus. If I want to move back, if I want to zoom out, I can just directly unpin and it will zoom out in the graph. So that's one option. Or else you can use your plus buttons to zoom in and zoom out. Like when you use the plus buttons, you can zoom in and zoom out over here. And if you unpin again, it goes back to the normal state. If you do this, you will be able to zoom in. With the plus and with the minus, you will be able to zoom out. But with the plus, you can zoom in and you can, and if you see, the moment it focuses on a state, or if the moment it we search on a state, it basically gets pinned automatically. To reset, you can just unpin and come back. Okay, these options were clear for everyone. Okay, now over here in the arrow you have some more options over here. Okay, the first option that we'll explore is this one, zoom area. Okay, so this, when you click on the zoom area, okay, when you click on zoom area, this comes with a tool that will help you zoom in a area. Let's say I want to zoom in the northern India, I want to zoom in on northern India. So I'll just drag select that northern area, and if you see, it automatically zoomed in this northern area. If you keep clicking, you will keep be I mean if you keep clicking, it will keep zooming in that area. If you want to reset, you can go back. If you want to zoom in again, I'll show you again. Just click over here and select the area you want to focus on, like this. Drag and select, and that's it. Leave it up and it will automatically zoom in. If you click once more, it will zoom in more. If you click once more, it will zoom in more. You want to reset, you can unpin. That's the first option called zoom area. The next one is pan. Okay. Pan is used to locate and move around in your graph. Okay. Sorry, someone was saying something. Okay. Pan is used to move around in your graph. Okay. So herein, with the help of pan, you can move around in the graph. You can move up, down, anywhere. Even when you zoom in, when it's very useful when you zoom in. When you zoom in also, you will be able to move around with the help of pan. Okay. So the second option is pan. The last three are all selection options. These are all selection options. If you want to select a square kind of area, you can use the square selection and it will highlight only that area of the map. Or else, if you want to select with circle, you can use the circle selection option, and this will select an area with the help of circle. So all the areas that got selected in your circle will get highlighted. And the last one is free form selection. Okay, lasso selection also. So this is where you can draw which area you want to focus on. See, I drew an absurd shape, and it selected all the states that fell in that shape. Okay, I'll show you once again. Let's say I drew one over here like this. So all the states that got selected in my absurd shape will get highlighted because these all fall under my selected area. So these options that I just spoke about, these are called as map options. Different map options that help you locate the data, that help you focus on an area, zoom in an area, select the area to pay further attention to, or do deeper and level analysis on, and etc. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, what about the rest of you guys? Everybody clear? Okay. Are you guys done executing till here? Just try out the map options once. Let me know once you're done.
Ma'am, can you explain the pan again?
So pan is used to move left and right. Right now I'm in the normal graph, right? No option is selected. If you see, when I try to move around, it is not moving. The graph is not moving around. So when I use the pan option, I will be able to move around in the graph. That's pan. Even
Okay.
when you focus on, it is very useful because you can pan in. I mean, you can pan left and right and etc. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you guys are done? Okay. Few more customizations or options that we can work on with map is something that you will find on the top. On the top, right beside analysis, on the top toolbar, right beside analysis, you have map. If you click on that map, you will be able to see a lot of options. And one of them is called map options. If you click on map options, if you see, all the map options have come up over here. Okay, let me share my entire screen so that it's visible. Okay, here, if you click on map, you click on map options. If you see, these map options come up over here. And you can select what do you want to show. You want to show the map search, you want to show the layer control, whatever you want to show, you can show it up over here. Right, if you for example remove layer control, then it won't show the layers that are there. If you remove allow pan and zoom, if you remove allow pan and zoom, then your map won't be able to, it won't be able to showcase the pan options, the zoom in and zoom out options, and etc. So you can control what options you want to give to the user of the dashboard using map options, because these options that are present in this map is something that the user will also be able to use. The user of the dashboard will also be able to use. So you can control from here what you want to give that user or what you don't want to give. Is it clear? Then on top in map, you have multiple more options. One is the background maps. So in background maps, you can actually choose what kind of map you want. Okay. Right now, the by default one is always light. If you select normal, this is how the color of the map changes. Okay. This is map styles basically. If you choose dark, it is a dark themed map. Something like this. Okay. Then you have street maps. One second. So streets look something like this. Yeah. Whatever goes with the aesthetic of your entire dashboard, you can choose it. Then you have outdoors, which looks like this. And then you have satellite. Satellite looks something like this. Again, whatever goes with your aesthetics of your entire dashboard. You can choose offline map. So it won't be able to do that because again we are not using the licensed version. So we won't be able to choose an offline map. But basically you can use all these map options, and you can basically work around with your map. You can basically add aesthetics to your map and etc. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, then what I did is I clicked on background layers. Okay, firstly I'll go back to light. Okay, now what I did is I clicked on background layers. This background layers just help you a little bit more on the whole styling of the map. Okay, so light, right now it is on light. You can choose anything. Again, from here you can choose your options. Okay, so you can choose outdoors or something like that. Then if you see on here on the left, you have layers of the map. The base layer, the terrain layer, the contour lines. These are all map styling options. If you would have read geographical, if you guys would have had geographical maps in your school, you would remember that we used to do a lot of maps and colorings and etc. So all those map options you can use over here. If you don't add the water labels, it won't name all the water bodies that are present beside your map. If you add them, you can see it's Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal. Okay. So all of these options are on you, which are the ones that you want to use. If you deselect terrain, it won't show you the terrains that are there in the geographical layer over here. So all of this again is in your control. And you can basically utilize all these options and make your graph more aesthetic or however you want to. Let's say your cities that you can see. For every state, if you see in the background, you can see cities. If that cities is something which is disturbing for you, you can remove the cities from here and it will look more aesthetic. Got it? Is it clear till here? If you increase the washout, then your graph will become more translucent. If you decrease the washout, your graph will become more colorful. If you want the colors to decrease a little, you can just keep it, like you can just adjust your washout for adjusting the transparency or the translucency of the graph entirely. Okay, so these are the different aesthetics or coloring, or we call it map options that help you add aesthetics to your map, to help you customize your map according to your needs and use case. Everybody was clear till here? All the options that we explored. Okay. So like I said that this is a filled map. One more kind of map is the symbol map. The only difference in that case is it shows symbol. For example, let's say I now take up country and region. So when I take up country and region, all the countries and regions get highlighted. And if you see these small symbols, they are basically highlighting the country or the region we are working with. Now, if I take up sales and I add it up in size, okay, look at this. I took up sales and I added it up in size. So now if you see, the symbols get the size based on the sales. The higher the sales, the bigger is the circle. The lower the sales, the smaller is the circle. So this is called a symbol map, right? And here you can choose, see, you can see your legend over here. You can edit it up and etc. over here. You can edit sizes, everything over here. How you want your sizes to vary and etc. Okay, right? Color, you can choose what color of circles do you need or something like that. You can choose. I chose green, so it will basically color it up in green. You can add your labels so that you can see the sales actually. And again, you can add your country and region also in labels. It will show both the country, region and the sales over here. This is called as a symbol map. When you have too many regions in your map or in your data, if you have too many regions, like too many cities, too many states, too many countries, in those cases, and let's say the sales is also not that varying in nature, in those cases, if you use a filled map, sometimes it looks congested. So for a better clarity, you can also try and use symbol maps over here. Got it? Is it clear till here? Okay. Can, if you guys are clear, can you guys quickly execute and try out till here?
Ma'am, I have one doubt. Like in the field map, when we have done, we selected state. Then why it has taken only states pertain to India? Why not the others?
Yeah, that's what I said. I would discuss it in a while. If you see, it says 155 unknown, right? That's because the rest of the states it couldn't identify it. So how Tableau identifies a geographical area is through latitude and longitude. Okay. So for every state, country, whatever you select geographically, it has an internal background in the backend. Tableau already has a mapping. So if you say Delhi, it will know where is Delhi using latitude and longitude. But for some cities or some states, it might not have that mapping, or maybe due to spelling mistakes, or due to, let's say, confusions, it might not be able to locate that particular state or city. That's why it shows as unknown. it's it means that there are more states that are to be identified, but it couldn't get identified due to some data discrepancies. But countries and regions, here if you see, it got highlighted because maybe it could highlight, or it could identify those countries. It could identify New Zealand, Australia. It has the mapping for New Zealand, Australia, and etc. So it could identify them. These states which did not get highlighted is because it Tableau could not identify them. There is a way to fix it. It's called custom geocoding, which we will see in some time. Got it?
Okay. Okay. In my thing, everything is get highlighted. That's why.
Yeah, you got the problem, right? Why it doesn't get highlighted.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. You guys can quickly try this out and let me know once you're done. Let me know once you guys are done.
How
Yeah.
how you change the color,
Color off.
that size?
You can just choose color from here, and you can choose your color. Okay, everybody done? Okay, I'm assuming everybody's done till here. And okay, like cool. Any which ways, let's get on a break and let's be back in 20 minutes and then we'll cover the rest of the topics. Okay, right, great. Let's quickly cover the rest half of the class. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we'll discuss is called custom geocoding. Okay, the name is custom geocoding because here you are customizing the geocoding options. Like I said, you that Tableau, if you see, Tableau identifies every geographical field with the help of latitude, longitude. So when I took up country and region in my map, if you look at the columns and rows, it is latitude, longitude. That is something that we have not even given. Latitude, longitude is not the data that we have given. We just gave country. It automatically mapped the correct latitude and longitude for every country. So for example, if you give country India, it identifies India. It has a backend mapping. Okay, it's called geocoding. It has a backend mapping. That's the data that Tableau has. So it knows for India what is the latitude and what is the longitude. So based on that, it locates that on the map. Okay, that's how it works. But there can be a lot of data discrepancies. Like sometimes there can be spelling mistakes. Sometimes there are some cities or some geographical areas which are not present in Tableau's data. Sometimes there can be issues in identifying the continent. Okay, there can be cities that can be present in two countries like Hyderabad. Hyderabad is present in India also, Hyderabad is present in Pakistan also. It can be confusing. So in those cases, what happens it cannot it becomes, I mean, it fails to identify few of the geographical areas that you have selected. Because of which you will see on the bottom you have 155 unknown. Okay. So let's try to fix this. I'll remove everything and I'll create a additional sheet. Give me 1 minute. Let me create a quick additional sheet over here. Again, the same way, I'll go to Excel and just put up few cities and sales. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. So I've randomly created a Excel sheet with few cities and their sales, and cities I've selected from India for now. I've pasted the values to you guys also in the chat box. What I'll do here also, I'll paste the values. So when I again paste it, again like yesterday, it got pasted as a clipboard. I did this purposefully so that you guys can understand custom geocoding, okay, in an easy way. Let me type it up as well. Okay. So purposefully, I've given few wrong spellings so that we can identify them. Okay. Let me put it up as a map. Okay. So if you see when I put it up as a map over here, okay, let me actually add the cities in the labels so that we can identify the cities. So if you see, it identifies Pune, it identifies Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai. There is three unknown over here. There are three values which are unknown over here. So what I'll do, I'll click on this unknown. When I click on this unknown, it shows me a dialog box to help me set my unknown, like help me focus and work around with my unknown values. So first thing, I mean, you don't need to filter the data. If you filter the data, all these unknown values will get removed from the view. So we don't need to filter. we can show it as I mean there is one more default position. So for all the unknown values, it can show everything as at a default position. Like let's say you set the default to be let's say you set all the default values to be Chennai. So whenever something cannot be identified or something that Tableau cannot identify and it goes in unknown, they will all get shown as Chennai, like a default value. So we don't need that as well. So we'll go to edit locations and we'll try to edit up the locations. Okay. Now the first problem, if you see, is okay, first problem that you notice over here, you should select the correct country. Sometimes what happens is if country is not selected correctly, all the cities don't get recognized. So country selection is very important. You can select state and province if you want, and then you can select the city. But our state and province is varied, so we won't select any state or province over here. Then cities. Can you see for Kolkata, it shows unrecognized. Why? Because here, my Kolkata over here has a wrong spelling, so it's not being able to identify it. So let's fix this. Let's give Kolkata. See, when I give the right spelling, it comes up over here. Okay. Now I'm going to click on OK. When I click on OK, Kolkata shows up over here. Even if the spelling is wrong, but it actually correctly identifies Kolkata over here. The fact that I corrected this is called as custom geocoding. Is that clear for everyone? Is this part clear for everyone?
Meghna, where did you click on that unknown just to start?
Just on the bottom right. On the bottom right, if you click on unknown, you will be able to edit locations. Yeah.
Okay, okay. This part I understood. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm not wrong, it is not being able to identify Delhi as well. Because most probably Delhi can be named as Delhi NCR. So maybe because of that, it is not being able to identify. So when I keep it as New Delhi, and if I give OK, it should be able to, yeah, it is identifying Delhi in that case. See, it is identifying Delhi in that case. Right? So it's on you. However you geocode or however you edit the locations, you will be able to see the data likewise. Was custom geocoding clear for everyone? I did not geocode in our original map because there are 155 unknown values. So too many values to fix. That's the reason why I tried it on a sample data. Is that clear now, everyone? Okay, others, can I get a yes or no? Okay, let me try one with one more data, okay? I'm just putting across the data so that we can work on that. We select the data and again I'll come to Tableau. Let me clear the sheet and actually paste my data. Okay, so I've pasted few states from US. Okay. I've pasted the data in the chat box as well. Again, I've just randomly chosen it up. Now, if you see, all are unknown. Everything is unknown over here. It is not being able to identify any state over here. So I'll click on the 7 unknown. I'll click on edit locations. And the major reason why it cannot recognize any of the states over here is because the country is India. So I'll go ahead and I'll change it. And I'll choose United States. Okay. Now when I choose United States, a lot of them it could identify. Okay, let's fix one by one. Texas, it couldn't identify. So let's try to look for Texas. So if you see Texas City is there, which got identified. Maryland, it couldn't identify. Let's go ahead and look for Maryland. There are two Marylands. See, there are two Marylands. That's why it got confused and it couldn't identify. So we'll choose one of them. Fixed. Washington, it couldn't identify. So again, what we'll do, we'll type for Washington. Now, if you look at this, when I type for Washington, there is no values that is being suggested to me. I'm not getting any values that I can suggest. So in this case, what will you do? If you don't get any suggestions as well, how will you fix those states in this case? For that, you will use latitude and longitude. So in this case, you will manually provide the latitude and longitude. Okay. So here, when you click on enter latitude, longitude, you will see, you will get the option to give latitude and longitude for Washington. Okay. So what I'll do is from Google, I'll just take up the latitude and longitude for Washington. Okay. Let me just quickly find it up. Okay. So the latitude is 47.751076. And here it is minus 120.740135. Click on OK. Okay. Even if I click on OK as of now, if you see few of the states like Washington, I just entered the latitude longitude, it got identified correctly. Here Texas got identified correctly, and few of the states basically got identified correctly because of my values that I have fixed over here. We can fix the other ones as well. We can click on edit locations. Now Ohio did not get identified because it doesn't get, I mean, it doesn't understand is Ohio a state or a city or what is it like. So what I'll do is I'll again enter the latitude and longitude over here. One second. One second. Yeah. So let's check for latitude, longitude of Ohio. And use latitude and longitude finder. There is a website for latitude, longitude finder. We can use that website over here. I'm pasting. Any which ways I'll type it. So Ohio got identified. Florida, let's check. Even for Florida, we are not being able to identify. So we'll use latitude, longitude finder for this. Now, having said this, when you have so many unknowns, like 100, 155 unknown, it is impossible and it is very tedious to go ahead and manually fix it. In those cases, in real time, what we do is we take the data to any other, let's say an Excel sheet. We'll take the data to an Excel sheet. And in that Excel sheet, what we do is we have the cities, right? We'll add an additional column for latitude and longitude. From Google, we can take up, like we can just quickly Google up all the latitude, longitudes at one place. just use a VLOOKUP. We'll understand Excel anyway in the next week. We use a VLOOKUP, and for every city, we'll identify the latitude and longitude in one go. And then import that Excel again over here in Tableau. And that way you can basically skip the manual geocoding, and you will be able to use, you will be able to identify all unknown values also very, very clearly. Got it? Was that clear? And the last one, as California, let's just fix this. So 34.052235. And here also it's 118.243683. And then click on OK. And when I click on OK, here if you see, all the states got highlighted over, all the cities or states got highlighted over. Add it in label. Okay. And add sales also. You can add sales also in label, which we can just fix from here. Okay. And just let's unpin everything. And you can see all the states that got identified over here.